You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Where on Monday, the Louisiana State Police arrested 4 state troopers accused of using excessive force, deactivating their body-worn cameras, and making false statements about 2 arrests in 2019 and 2020. A months-long investigation found 3 of the 4 troopers arrested on Monday include 26-year-old George Harper, 28-year-old Dakota DeMoss, and 30-year-old Jacob Brown. All 3 troopers face state charges of simple battery and malfeasance in office in connection with a police chase that took place in May 2020. The other officer, 34-year-old Randall Dickerson, is accused of using excessive force, deactivating his body camera, and making false statements while handcuffing a driver in 2019. The newly appointed state police superintendent, Colonel Lamar Davis, said the use of force in both instances was, quote, inexcusable and tarnishes the exemplary work of our dedicated men and women. He told troopers in an email obtained by the Associated Press, quote, although we once again face a situation that will undoubtedly bring negative public attention to our agency, we must remain committed to holding each other accountable. That's what I'm talking about, Mustafa, when I keep saying when cops turn off those cameras. This is why I say, bottom line is, the moment you sign on, before you walk out that door, you turn it on, it should never come off again. If it comes off, if you turn it off, you should be terminated.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's the only way that we're going to be able to document what's going on. You know, whether it is, harassment or some of these other more egregious behaviors that we unfortunately find law enforcement doing. And even when we are able to document what's going on, it still makes it really tough for folks like Robert and Monique and many others to be able to get justice for, their clients. So, we just got to continue to push on that. And the accountability thing in that statement is necessary. But, they have no problem when it comes to policing in our communities and making sure there's accountability. But, of course, we know that the police unions continue to push back and fight when we're asking for accountability to also be on that side of the ledger.
Folks, I always love talking about community accountability, Robert, but they really hate it when you talk about it involving cops.
Well, this is why I still say that if you have a case where a body cam is deactivated, the case should be thrown out. Take away the incentive to have rent-seeking behavior. Take away the incentive that officers will have to turn off those body cams, because just like with anything else, let's put it this way: if you had a camera in your house and then you notice every time you go out of town, your spouse turns the camera off, after about the 3rd or 4th time, you're going to be wondering why they turned the camera off. Same thing with these officers. Why are you turning the camera off if you are confident in the policing that you have done? And quite frankly, as we've said, the technology exists today to have tamper-proof body cameras which record directly to a cloud that are tamper-proof, where you cannot turn them on and off, that can stream 24 hours a day, that are saved on an external server. So there's no real reason for this not to be taking place already, and we have to push for federal funding and federal guidelines which say that if you do not institute these policies with your state and local police forces, then you lose access to federal funding for weapons and trainings and other things that the federal government funds for local police departments. This is where all that military equipment keeps coming from. So it can be addressed on the federal level, but we do need to push for changes on the state and local level where we have the most influence for our public officials.
Well, I'm certainly glad to see that the actual state troopers arrested their own. And then you have a superintendent there, Monique, who is demanding accountability.
Absolutely. That to me is the headline for this story, that we've got a department that knows this is going to bring a negative press. We're in it. And it should, because these are the things that need to be reported, but doing the right thing anyway, and not just the body cam. The to me more important part is these were 4 that had excessive force violations that needed to be prosecuted. So these are humans who should not have been assaulted and battered by police officers that are going to get some form of justice. And these officers, prayerfully, will never be able to be a part of law enforcement again.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have, you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it. Please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.